Hello everyone, Down and Don back with the next progress report on the Corsair. Alright, last you saw I had this all together, had the cowling on, the prop on, everything was pretty close to being finished. I mentioned that I needed to make the plug for the original crankcase vent. So I took the original tube, chucked it up in the lathe, and I cut the top off, and I found a piece of steel stock that was just bigger than I needed, turned it down, pressed it inside the piece of tubing, and then hammered her in there with some red Loctite on it. So that's not coming out. And then the other thing I mentioned was making up this new line here, drain line for sumping, and then there is the sump there, because the cowl flaps come back to about here. They come out about there. So I was going to try and bend it down, but I didn't want it down in the slipstream. The cowling kind of pushes it, and you can still be able to sump that. So that's done. I also mentioned last week that I put in this sensor here. I called it a coolant sensor, but it's actually just the air temp sensor. So that just goes into the computer, and then if the inlet air gets too hot or anything like that, the computer can be programmed to pull out some timing to stay away from detonation. I got the screws back in here. I just need to safety wire them once I'm sure I'm done with this plug with adding wires. Someone asked about if I was intending on doing landing light, and eventually yes. So the wires are going to have to come out of there. I've got plenty of spare pins. Landing taxi light. The place I bought the wingtip light kit from was called Flyboys. They're here in the States, but they get all their stuff out of Australia's, where they're actually made. But I was looking to put the light right up here in the front, underneath the prop. And it's a dual light they have. It has taxi lights that are angled down, I don't know, 10, 14 degrees, and then the landing light, which would be more straight out, so when the plane's level. But it's intended for, tail dragger applications when the tail's down like this. So landing light will be pointing up this way, but once the tail lifts up, it'll be fairly straight. So it's 2-in-1. It's a rectangular unit, and it's small, so it'll fit right up in here nicely. So if I intend to put taxi light, landing lights on there. All right, so that pretty much does it for here. Everything is buttoned up. Oh, I also see Joe Lyon had made another video, and he showed a lithium battery he bought. Well, it turns out the battery he has is the exact same dimension as this one. It's a 20 series. This one's it's an AGM acid glass mat, and it's a ETX 20L. And then he bought a YTX or something like that, 20L-BS, and it's a lithium ion. He said in there that it was like a 3-pound battery. So that got me wondering. I pulled this one out yesterday, threw it on just this old bathroom scale. My little digital scale won't go that high. It stops at 11. So this, I mean, how accurate this is, but it came out to where it was between 13 and 14 pounds. So if I get me a lithium battery and put in here, this battery here has got to be 5 years old now, and it's been like one of the best motorcycle batteries I ever bought, and I got it from O'Reilly's. But that thing's held up real well. It set all winter long, come out in the spring and hit the key, and it just roll right over. I did end up getting to Harbor Freight and bought these wrenches. I went to O'Reilly's and bought a wrench first, but it didn't work because of the ratchet was countersunk a little bit on one side. Now this one here, you can see they're nice and flush on both sides, and it's got the swivel head, and it's only one rotation, one direction. You just turn it around to go the opposite direction. But that works great. It gets right in there. It gives me knuckle room here to ratchet, and it works perfect. So this will stay in the airplane. I didn't want to buy a whole set, but the wrench I bought from O'Reilly's, that was $18 with tax. These things here were on sale. They were regular, just a normal sale that they put on, and they were $29, like $30, and then they were on sale for $21.99, so there was like $22. So it's a good deal. And I can use these here in the garage. Those will come in handy. They're not the best. I mean, they're a nice quality looking tool, but you know, they're definitely a lot bigger than most wrenches would be. Probably because the steel's not as tough as a good one. But for what I use it for, they'll be just fine. Again, that little one, that 3/8 drive or 3/8 one, will stay in the airplane. All right, so I mentioned, oh, there's my cowling. Nice little smiley face. Those are the holes. Them are 2 3/8 inch holes for these pipes. So again, that's all finished. Everything's finished. The dripping on the radiator stopped. I'm not sure what's going on there. I haven't looked into it yet. I just got to finish sanding this out. Get these 2 tabs mounted back here. So now, yesterday I started fiddling with this canopy frame, getting this frame built. So I got out the original one and tried to see if it would fit. This back piece was all one. It'd come all the way down around up each side. Of course, the bottoms will match fine, but because this has a steeper angle, it wouldn't work. So I tried trimming it back because it was fairly long. So I trimmed it back about half the distance, and it helped, but it still wasn't enough. It wasn't going to work. So I went to the dollar store, grabbed me some grabbed a sheet of poster board, and I sat down and started whittling out the dimensions. So this is the back piece, and as you can see, I've got it right here. So this goes this way. That's how much arc you had to put in that thing to get this thing to, once it folds, to fit. And then the front one, this is the front arc. So you can see, let me get back so you can see how these things look. So they got quite a bit of curve to them, and they're not the same, of course. They're close, but not quite the same, as you can see there. So I got them all made, located, and drilled all the holes. Then I decided to try and weld it. So I took a sample piece and I tried to weld it. First thing it did is it just didn't burn right. It was just spitting and sputtering, and it turns out the wasn't getting any argon. My tank is very low, and I looked over and I hit the pedal and I couldn't hear the gas, so I went over and must have bumped the knob for the ball, and it opened up, and I went back and hit it again, and I was able to finish. But this stuff is only 30 thousandths thick, so that's what it did welding through. Some places it welded through real good, others it didn't, but I just wanted to see if I could weld it. And once I got going, got past this initial piece, it was welding pretty good. But when you're welding stuff this thin, you have to put a backer on it to help absorb some of the heat. Otherwise you get that blow through like that happened there. But that blow through was from no argon flowing. So I got these all welded. I didn't even burn through that hole there, you can see, for the screw. This is the canopy, the front of the canopy, that's the front edge. And then this is the back edge. And I tried to build up enough weld. This still needs shaped. It's not finished shaped yet, so it's a little longer than need be. And I tried to put enough weld in there to do it. So, but this all turned out beautiful, and it fits absolutely gorgeous. I couldn't go any farther because I run out of sanding disc for my grinder. But then I did come in on the inside, and I welded all 4 on the inside. And the inside welded up a lot easier because it had some material on the back side. And that green, I think that's just paint. It's not epoxy, I think it's just that green etching primer paint I like to use. So those are all done. What I need to do is get to Harbor Freight. I didn't have time to go tonight. It's already 5:30. This is the Scotch-Brite type pad. It cuts pretty good. You could probably grind on that, but it would take a long time. So I'm out of the actual disc, so I need to go to Harbor Freight tomorrow after I get done driving for the day and stop in and grab some 3-inch disc. I need a new backer disc too. This used to be the 3-inch disc. It kind of tore off on me, so now it's not. Without it, the disc kind of flops around. So should be able to grind these down. I'll leave this probably just a little proud. I won't grind it right straight down to the surface, but the outside I will. I'll grind those smooth. And if I would have just welded this and ground it smooth, there's a good chance they would have broke loose because the penetration wasn't all the way through it. It's very, very, I mean, you're talking 30 thousandths, you generally run about 1 amp per every thousandths of an inch. So 30 amps, and I had it probably set at 40 to 50, and I had plenty of pedal left once you get her going. But the thing is the aluminum, you got to get it heated up enough. If you try to use too thick of a backer on this, you'll have a hard time getting that to heat up. It'll just wick away the heat on you. So that's kind of where I'm at. And you can see welding this together was a treat. The arcing is just from these things trying to flatten out, but this fits absolutely beautiful, and so doesn't the front frame. I mean, it comes down right straight across and literally touches right here. I mean, it's beautiful. There's a little bit of a gap here. It's a little bowed out here on both sides. This is probably sanded a little under, but so I got that done. I think that's about all I got to report. This is going to need a good cleaning and a final polish before I put the frame on. But this weekend I'll get that finished up. I'll go and get some more sanding discs for this thing, and these things aren't cheap. These sanding discs for what they are expensive. I mean, $20 just for like 5 or 6 of those little guys. You can get them 1.5 inch, and those are I think 3 inch, but they're pricey for what they are. So I think that's about all I got done. Wasn't anything else I worked on. Just those 2 little things with the engine there. So, all right, I guess I'm just going to keep this one a little short. Still about 12 minutes in. Apparently this camera likes to run for 15 minutes and 5 seconds, and then it shuts off. And then you got to restart it. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and end her there. So, as always, appreciate everybody taking time to watch these videos. Feel free to leave any comments, questions, concerns. I'll answer them as they come in, and appreciate the ones people leave now. And as always, don't be afraid to leave comments. All right, and I see Joe had a follow-up video that was a little over 2 minutes after his last video, so I caught that this morning. But I think I'm going to get one of them batteries now, because that'll knock another 10 pounds off the nose of the plane. So now it could be 30, 40 pounds less on the total weight of the airplane now. So today and yesterday I had to drag out the heater and fire it up just to knock the chill out of this air, because we've been dropping down into the 40s at night, 50s, and raining. So, all right, everybody, that's going to do her. I will see you guys again more than likely Sunday night. So, as always, appreciate you coming and dropping by, and we will see you guys again Sunday. So for now, this is Diner and Out.